Hello everybody, good morning. How y'all doing today? It's early over here. In case you're wondering, I have a little pad full of some bullet points that I'm going to be making during this presentation. Still early. This is my first video I've ever done like this, so please bear with me. I mean, it's going to be what it's going to be. You'll notice my background is plain. Sure, well, about as plain as I can get it. There's going to be no symbology represented in this video. Hand signs, no. I know what they mean. And if you stick with me long enough in this video, I'll teach you what they mean. I'll teach you what all the celebrities' tattoos mean. I'll teach you what all this stuff means to the common person and to the devil people. So this is going to be a series of videos exposing the beast system and how the beast system works. It's a very simple system, but it's very complicated and multifaceted. It covers every aspect of your life from the moment that you're born until after you're dead, because they're still coming after your money and whatever you might have possessed in your life, you know, upon your death. Okay, well, starts in the womb, okay? When baby mama goes to the doctor, mom gets on prenatal vitamins, you know, that's where they start getting us, right there. You know, I had a baby's mama that she loved taking prenatal vitamins because it made her hair look really good and it made her nails look really good. And, you know, I understood, I got it. But that child was born premature, was born underdeveloped, had to go through multiple surgeries in order to become right. And, you know, it was a big hassle. It was a lot of stress, a lot of mental anguish. And, you know, that's what these people thrive off of. They try to create that stuff. You know, one thing that you have to learn about the beast system is that you have to unlearn everything that you have ever learned in this world, okay? Everything. There is no aspect of your life that has not been touched by the devil people, okay? And they have perverted everything. They take our natural reality of real life and they remove our natural reality and then insert their own version of our reality, okay? And that's what it boils down to. That's what you see on the news every night, and that's what you see on social media every day. We're going to talk about the media and how that affects your life later on in this series. Part one, this is going to be a two-part video. Part one of this video is going to be about school, about the early development years of your life and how you get indoctrinated into the school system that basically teaches you a bunch of stuff that you don't even need to know about this world, teaches you nothing about what you really need to know about this world, and is basically giving you nothing but devil doctrine all the way through, starting with the alphabet. You know, we're taught that A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you know, all that BS, you know. You know, it forms letters and stuff. But see, it took me a while in my life to understand that, you know, those letters are nothing more than symbols. And, you know, they use those symbols against us, you know, against the Creator. So make sure that you unlearn everything that you ever learned. That's the key, okay? You just have to go backwards. And then, once you've unlearned everything that you've learned, then you can try to figure out what is actually the truth in the situation and what is the BS. And during that time, you're going to hone your eye of discernment. You're going to figure out what is actually true and what is actually fake. You know, I can just sit at a story now and just look at the story and, you know, there'll be parts in it that are true. They have to have some kind of actuality in it to be able to sell it to somebody that's halfway smart. But then, you know, you just pick up on the lies immediately. And then, you know, I just turn it off at that point. Okay. Well, shortly after birth, we are tossed into this indoctrination program, elementary school. Okay. In elementary school, the first thing you're taught when you walk in the door is spelling, casting spells on people. Okay. Which is exactly what it is. You know, they use our language against us. And, you know, if you're tuned into the stuff, you can pick up on it. And that's what I intend on doing with these videos. tuning you into this. So just sit back and enjoy the show. Okay. Part 1, school. Here we go. Start with this. Unlearn everything that you have ever learned in school. Okay? Unlearn it, because it's all bullshit. I'm sorry, I am going to keep these foul words down to a minimum. I want to make these videos as friendly as possible, that mostly anybody could watch it. Young children, whatever. That's actually who I'm trying to reach. The adults, they should be able to figure it out for themselves. I'm hoping to reach the younger kids. You know, you just have to unlearn everything. You just have to start new. And, you know, you're going to figure out that the things that are pushed on you the hardest in this world, religion, politics, liquor, are fake. And they're just basically designed to distract you and kill you. Okay? There's just no other way to put it. You know, the devil people spend our whole lives trying to kill us, and that's basically what's happening here. Okay, so finger painting. When you first get into school, you start finger painting, and you know, finger painting, they start handing you all of these symbols to start painting. And see, this was at a time in my life where I actually started picking up on these symbols. I've always been fascinated with symbols, symbology, numerology, not so much the number aspect of it, but just how it relates to the world and stuff. And as a young child, I actually got very fascinated with the symbology aspect. And, you know, I had a friend of mine that was a really good artist when I was a young kid, and he could draw anything. And so that's what we did. I would draw symbols, and he would draw like cars and all this really exotic stuff. And, you know, as I look back on it now, I realized that they were just basically indoctrinating us with symbols in finger painting. I mean, that's just how early it begins. And then it progresses on to the spelling, you know, where you're learning these satanic symbols that, you know, are pushed on you as what's called an alphabet, okay, to spell words that you need to communicate. Let me tell you something, folks, okay? The only reason that David Rockefeller was never president of the United States is because he couldn't read or write English. He couldn't read or write any language. I mean, yeah, this was, at the time, the richest person in the world. Reportedly. We all know the Queen of England owns everything, okay? If you think you own your car, you don't own your car. The Queen of England owns your car. If you think that you own your house, you don't own your house. The Queen of England owns your house as well, and everything else, and the money in your pocket, okay? It's just the way the laws are written. It's called Roman Latin law, maritime law, and you guys need to get tuned into it if you're not, because you don't own anything in this world. As soon as you sign a title to something, you're signing over all of your rights of ownership to the state. And, well, basically, if you trace the state far enough, you'll find out that the Queen of England actually owns the state that you live in. So let's get back to school. Okay, school. Wow. You know, that's where it all begins, and that's where why this is going to be a two-part system. I'm going to go through elementary school, and then on part 2, I'm going to start at junior high, high school, and then progress into, you know, the indoctrination programs in colleges and how that. Okay, elementary school. Yeah, well, the sun's starting to come up. Get over here. Okay, in elementary school, the first thing you're taught is finger painting, and this is where I started picking up on symbology and stuff when I was a young child. I just was fascinated by symbols, symbology, what they represented. Even though at the time I had no clue of what they represented, I was always fascinated by signs and symbols. And when they teach you these signs and symbols, they basically, they're, you know, indoctrinating you into devil symbology, satanic symbology, and that's what they are. That's what these symbols are. Yeah, spelling, you know, they teach you the spelling, they teach you to cast spells on people. That's basically what it is. You know, all of the symbols that they hand us in the alphabet are all just devil symbols. The A is basically represents a pyramid, the B is the number 13, C is the number 3, D basically represents the dome that you live under, In case you don't know it, people, you live on a flat earth underneath of a dome. The dome that we live under is made of diamond, okay? The devil people have never found a way to actually break through it. They chip away at it. That's where those diamonds come from on your finger. There's no such thing as a diamond mine. Sorry to disappoint you if you think that there is, or you ever want to go and create your own diamond mine. Why don't you just go try? Why don't you just go try to do it? Okay, and if you think you're free, I make this offer to everyone, okay? If you think you're free, I'm making you an offer. This is a legal and binding contract. If you can get me to the South Pole, I will give you $50,000 in cash. In cash. But I have to go to the South Pole. And then beyond. I want to go to the South Pole. So anybody can get me to the South Pole, I'll pay you $50,000 in cash. And I'll pay for your trip too. Okay? If you think you're free, just try to book a trip to the South Pole. Okay. And see, that's where the ball earth comes into play. You know, they trick us with this ball earth. They trick us hard with this ball earth, man. They throw this ball earth on every desk, in every classroom. Every teacher has one on their desk. And you know, they push that on us very, very hard. And the ball earth is one of the biggest deceptions. Flying through the universe at 66,600 miles an hour. There's no 666 symbology there. And it's actually on an axis of 66.6 degrees. No, there's no satanic symbology there. You know, it's just all a bunch of nonsense. And if people took the time to do just a little bit of investigative work, just investigate it just a tiny bit, just to check for anything, you know, they would find out that it's all BS. That everything they teach us is BS. Science. Oh, science. They've blinded us with science. Anything that you can do as an experiment is science. Anything that you cannot do is science fiction, okay? And see, they present us with all this science fiction, and then they hand us these people that are so-called experts on the situation, and they say, well, this expert says that it's like this. And so the human being's mind wants to take that as valid and run with it. Well, the fact is their experts are all fake, okay? Their experts are fake. They're paid liars, okay? And they're paid to lie to you for a reason. Because they support their system. I don't support their system. Not in any way, shape, or form. You know, the reason that some of these truths have been revealed to me have been because of my life. You know, a lot of people don't know things about me, you know, and that's fine. You know, I was never indoctrinated into the devil system. You know, I stopped going to school in the 4th grade, you know, because school bored me. I didn't have time for school. You know, I'd rather run the streets. I would go to school like one day a week, usually on Friday, and see what I had missed that week and make up the tests or whatever. But yeah, I rarely attended school past the 4th grade. Anyone that knows me and has known me my whole life could tell you that. You know, they never really knew me from school. They knew me from the street. And so I wasn't indoctrinated into the program, you know, into their devil program that they have. That's why it's been so easy for me to break the indoctrination, because I wasn't really ever indoctrinated. So that, you know, gives you a little explanation of maybe why I've been able to see through some of these truths, because I wasn't programmed as hard as some of you. You know, I didn't participate in the Freemason ceremony of walking across the graduating stage with a mortar board on my head. You know, I never went through that. I was never indoctrinated into that. And that's part of the rituals that they put you through, and you know, you don't even know that it's basically a satanic ritual when you walk across a stage and graduate, you know, and they move the tassel over on your head and all that. It's all satanic indoctrination, okay? Evolution is one of the biggest lies that they teach you, you know. They sell you the Bible and they tell you that you were created, and then they sell you science and tell you that we came from monkeys, okay? Well, let me tell you something, people, okay? You didn't come from monkeys. That's all a bunch of horse hockey, okay? It's all lies. You just have to unlearn everything that they've ever taught you. You have to unlearn everything that you ever learned in school, because it was all a lie. You know, we didn't come from monkeys. There's no such thing as the missing link. Those are all stories perpetuated by the devil people to move you away from the Creator, to move you away from the fact that you were created and put on this earth for a higher purpose. And it wasn't to worship Satan, but actually, you know, in this satanic system, that's exactly what's going on, you know, and that's the beast system in a whole, you know, it's just a 100% satanic system, you know, and it's a complete system, you know, they've had thousands of years to figure this out. You know, nobody on this earth, no normal person anyway, knows what even happened 200 years ago. You know, nobody even knows what happened 200 years ago, but they know what happened. You know, I've watched the reality of what's happened in my life happen one way, and I've watched it get written in history another way. I've watched the devil people remove our reality and insert their own reality through books and media and everything else, and you know, that's how I got tuned into just the whole deal. And you know, the deception runs deep. You know, it's a very deep, multifaceted system, and very complete. I mean, the devil is the master of all deceptions, and there is no mystery about that. It's all true. Yes, in elementary school, that's where it all begins. You know, they indoctrinate us with all these false beliefs and these just basically lies. You know, they teach us all of these lies, and you know, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back. You know, in the beginning, God created night and day. There was no such thing as time, and the devil people only created time because they hoped to turn it back. You know, they hoped to turn back time. You know, I don't know if any of you have ever heard of the CERN machine or not. It's the most expensive, most complex machine ever built in the world, the history of the world, and most people have never even heard about it. It's a Large Hadron Collider, and they collide particles at the speed of light inside of this little machine that they have in Switzerland. They have them all over the world, but the one in Switzerland is the biggest, the CERN machine. You know, some people think it's weather modification. Some people think it's tearing the veil and using the D-Wave computer to hold the veil open so they can invite demons in and all kinds of stuff. I mean, that one guy, Gordie Howe, the guy who invented the D-Wave computer, gets credit for it. We know no human created any of that stuff. It's just demonic presence, you know. These people sell their soul to Satan, and in turn, they get this forbidden knowledge or this hidden knowledge that, you know, and then they get to use it and pervert it and hurt mankind with it rather than help us. Okay, well, this has been our initial installment. The sun's starting to get in my face. This is really getting annoying. So this has been our first installment of the beast system. I'm going to go and I'm going to make a video in 2 days. I'm going to start explaining how they indoctrinate us through high school, college, and then on into our careers, and then make us debt slaves. And then I'll explain how the monetary system works. You know, it's a complete system, you know, and they just they use it, and they basically, what they want to do is they want to tax us for every breath that we take. You know, that's it. They want to tax us, and they want to try to take away every aspect of our natural heritage and insert their own version of what our heritage is supposed to be. So, yeah, this is it for me, y'all, for today. Y'all have a blessed day. See you soon.